Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be. Adam Gilson here with Modern Foos, Washington State Championships 2023. We've got our first finals of the weekend for you. This is senior doubles on the left-hand side. That's Kopiy Cam at front, Julie O'Halloran at back. On the right-hand side, Dr. Doom, which just got the ball knocked off after that block by Julie. Phil Schlaefer and Lotus Chesbrough at back. Clay Toomey.
Gonna need a minute.
He's going to need a minute.
It feels right. That feels the time to do that. And
yeah,
I'm actually keep trying.
No. I mean, yeah. No, I don't know why I'm saying no to you. 0-0 this first game. I picked up on it in the first. We don't need to talk shop here in front of everybody. Kopiy, who we saw just go 5-3 like madness, then go 3 to the back of the hole like even more madness. He shot 7 for 11 in that last match that we saw. To get to this one, can he continue that pace against?
That sounded like a goal. Okay, all right. I'm glad they all agreed on it. Actually, Phil there wasn't too super sure, but he turned around and somebody else who was his. Well, that was a joke that wasn't going to go anywhere.
Wow!
Holy
A
moly.
5 to the 3, swatted to the 3.
Biked it and caught it.
Yeah, he has got those kind of reflexes as he's catching on fire. He's a momentum player. Hands the ball to Phil, who you would think would take a timeout, but he does not.
Yeah, he's no Tom Yor. I thought. I hate this. I hate life sometimes. I did that.
Did what?
I said he's not going to call a timeout, and then he called a timeout.
Oh, that, yeah.
And I made the joke, he's no Tom Yor, because Tom Yor famously does the 2-0, 3-1, 4-2, whatever, 5-3.
Well, wait, are we taking off? What's going on? Is there a rocket launch happening?
Yeah, some T-minus.
T-minus. As this one gets back into play, I'm glad we used all that analysis time to count down as Phil, who is not Tom Yor, but also is.
That was my rap name.
We have a Raider.
In college.
Viridescent light.
Hey, welcome. So this is someone who I believe it was Moneyball popped in to say hello and watch a little bit of foosball. And thanks for the raid. We appreciate it. Welcome on in, folks.
Yeah.
Watching a little professional foosball.
Appreciate you.
At the Washington State Foosball Championships here in Bellevue, Washington, just outside of Seattle, Washington.
Dr. Doom puts the ball into play with the rollover, gets it blocked as Cam swats it up.
Oh, foosball player. They are a foosball player. Okay, cool.
St. Louis?
Yeah.
You don't have to tell us who you are. But
and the last 4 of your social, obviously.
Yeah, and list your greatest fears, your blood type.
I feel like that's I don't think that's who this is, but that's Paul Smith's neck of the woods, right? He's a St. Louis Fooser, right? Joe Rhodes, some of those. Is that who lives around there? I don't know. Welcome in. Thanks for the raid. Glad you're here. Appreciate you.
Dr. Doom. Another player that can get on a roll.
He's got this pull side shot that would just rock your world.
It is. Savannah, nationally ranked.
Oh, you know Paul. Cool.
All right. Nice.
There you go.
O'Halloran. So you have O'Halloran and Chesbrough, who are just phenomenal goalies. They're so smart. And you can see, even though Cam is up, that team on the left is up by 2-0 right now, Chesbrough is going to be able to change and adjust exactly what you're seeing O'Halloran do against Schlaefer. Stat line, 0 for 6. Look at the stats.
What do you say?
Yeah, they're asking for silicone. We don't have any.
Yeah, I don't know. We're not actually working the tournament.
No.
As it turns out, we're just here in the back, talking.
Having a chat.
Yeah.
So you see on the stats on the right-hand side there, folks, in the black box for the black team, passing 3 for 3 right now, 100%, but shooting, Phil, 0 for 6. Chesbrough sends that back clear to the goal, on goal.
That was on goal. That was that scoop. Will you, if people start calling it the scoop, will you accept that?
I prefer 23 scoop, but
Yeah.
scoop is acceptable. I get it, but, you know, for me. The only thing that I'm retentive about is
Retentive.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's not the full phrase.
as that ball leaks its way to the Phil.
Speaking of retention.
Speaking of retention.
Oh, my God. Speaking of echoes.
Speaking of as hard as you can.
Speaking of Phil Schlaefer shooting 0 for 6 here.
Going to do a push side, but get it blocked because O'Halloran's going to just be there. Oh, no. Guess not.
That's why you don't do that. That's why I just do this and point and don't say anything on mic. That's why well, that was a joke that's not going anywhere.
2-1.
That's weird.
That was weird.
Oops.
And that's the kind of thing that happened. If you saw that in that microsecond that he hit that ball, Phil's 5-man was so toe forward that it knocked back to Kopiy's 5. He had another attempt on that pass after it got blocked the first time.
Ew.
3-1.
We have a stat for that, too. That is a stuff.
Oh, I thought the stat was moon.
It's a type of stuff.
Like how cannoli is a type of stuffed dessert. And
Ravioli. Holy cannoli.
3-1
Rest in
now.
peace, Chris Farley.
What just happened?
What did you do? We're good? Thank you.
He just did that on his phone?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
It's off again.
It's off again.
Just like my relationships. Off. We're good. We'll mess with it between matches. Nobody wants to see us anyways. That's his second time out, by the way. I feel like they might not know that.
Schlaefer taking his time, and this is what top players do. He's doing a completely different series right now, taking his time, switched up his rhythm, got it to his 3. 1 for 7, though. 1 for 8.
What do you do? I mean, what are you looking for? If he taps you on the shoulder and says, Adam, help me out, what do I do? What advice do you give him?
I would, at this point right now, because he's trying to time holes, my perception is he's trying to time holes. Let me say it another way. I would do the opposite of everything I've been doing up to that point. Like the opposite. If I'm timing and said, you know what, I'm going to just count to 3 and go. Count to 7 and go. Pick a hole and go. Because that one clean shot that he had, that push side, that he timed that. But she gave that to him, and I think she gave that to him on purpose to set up blocking the next couple ones that she has done. Cam, world over position. Shooting at 50%, but gets the ball again and buries that push side. 3 for 5. Cam, we've seen this from him, and this is something that Kopiy Cam can do. We'll get on these rolls.
Wow.
Phil's 5-bar is just phenomenal.
It's actually really pretty, but also super aggressive.
Mm-hmm. It's aggressive, but it's like a vampire butterfly. It's aggressive but polite, you know.
That's funny.
Thank you. I'm working on that all night.
Man, we're one missed shot away from this being the second single-digit shooting percentage that we've seen already tonight in just a handful of matches.
Was that random? 23 scoop to the 3.
It's not
Schlaefer.
random, but it is rare.
Okay. Got a lesson in a lot of stuff right there. Side-eye glance even from Clay. You didn't see it, and I'm glad he didn't. Straight down the middle, and he did. He did something different there that time. Pulls within 2.
For the curious, I can correct incorrect input. So, like on that one, I marked it as a failed shot attempt first, and I was able to correct that and go and put it. So if you see some of the numbers going backwards and forwards, I'm just fixing it.
Folks, we're not chitty-chatting too much. That ball rattles in there. 3, 4. You see what Phil just did with his wrist. Whenever he gets on fire, he's getting fired up. He kind of throws his wrists forward really gently like. I think he's feeling a little bit of momentum. Cam, though, cannot hold on to that on 3. Chesbrough, solid back there. Continues the pass. You know she can shoot back there.
She's not going to do anything that's going to cost you the match, that's for sure. This will be a safe play.
And there you have it as Phil reels it in. Wants to pull within 4. They were in the jaws of defeat, climbed out, bought a drink at the bar, came back and said, let's chat. Phil. And does that thing with his wrist again. I love that. That's the Phil wrist throw. I'm going to come up with a better name than that.
Phil Necro. Knuckleball. Called the knuckleball.
I get that, but okay. Lotus. Continues to do that, just doing the work, doing what you need to do, keeping her clearing back there at 62%.
Yeah, that's not a clear. When it goes to the opposing 5-bar, that is not a.
Oh, that was a 5-bar.
That is not a positive EV play. You don't want to give it to the forward on either rod. Goes to your opponent's 5-bar, it's all good. That's a clear. You maintain possession there.
Phil.
There we go. You're just looking for the. Well, there we go.
4-4. Down what? They were down by 3 at one point?
Yeah, it was 4-1.
4-1 now.
And I don't know if you could hear it on that table mic, but he did the grunt that he was doing at Moneyball earlier this year.
Ooh. And now. Wow. 4-4.
I like watching Phil play, man.
Yeah, he's fun.
I like the aggression, and to be clear, I like that flavor of aggression. Sometimes people are jerks, they're rude, they're loud for no reason, they're not doing anything. This is all about just firing himself up. He's not trying to do any head games or any of that other nonsense. He's just playing foosball. He's excited. He's rubbing the table.
Yes.
You know, I like it.
Yeah, I do too. No, there's a level of intensity there that is enjoyable. Cam, it is game point. Puts that away, 1-0 in this senior doubles final. Best of 3. I'm Adam Gilson. That's Clay Toomey. Those are stats. This is Washington State 2023 Clay.
It looks good everywhere except Phil's 3-bar. I mean, he's got a lot of shots. He's passing. You know, Lotus is clearing. He's just shooting 3 for 13. You're not. That ain't going. That ain't going where you want it to go. On the other side of the table, I mean, the numbers are decent, and that's. I mean, literally, if Phil can 13 shots in one game is kind of absurd. So if he fixes anything on his 3-bar, I think this is going to swing heavily in their favor very soon. On the left side of the table, they're playing solid. I mean, they're passing, they're scoring, they're clearing, all of it.
We see why. This is sometimes a game of millimeters.
I think you coined that, right?
I did.
I like it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Folks at home, if you're watching, and I know you are, otherwise you would be here when I'm saying, and you're in the chat, go ahead and drop something in there. Say a little hello. Anything. We've been not quite engaging right now as we're watching the match, but we will definitely be looking at anything that you have to say or think or feel. What's something that you thought was... No. What's something that sounds like a lie but is true? Think about that. Throw that in there. We'll get back to you as we get back to this one now. Second game. Chesbrough. Look at what Chesbrough is doing. Completely changing the tempo of everything she's doing back there. She's not moving the ball and passing, just doing a dead still pass off the big box. That is pro stuff. Again, you see Phil changing things up too, taking his time. Whoa, that middle went in so hard it came out and said, ouchie, manouchie.
I feel like that entire wait, why are the stats not working? Oh, they're not updating on the up here. Uh-oh, that's a problem.
Chesbrough passes to the 3 of Phil.
Thank you for that.
And then Phil buries that pull side 2-0 now in this first game. It's been all Phil, all Lotus. And you saw that. It was a nuance, folks, at home. If you want to learn how to play better foosball, watch what they did there. They changed their pace, their rhythm, and their timing. Two of those might be synonyms. I don't know. It doesn't matter. The point is, it's 2-0, a quick 2-0 now as Kopiy looks to respond, and Chesbrough there to grab it.
Synonym buns. My favorite. Synonym rolls. One of my favorite things to eat for breakfast. Do you hate me right now?
Is synonym buns one of your favorite things to eat or ingest for breakfast?
Well, ingest and eat aren't the same. Chew and swallow?
I knew that you would say that.
I knew
you were
too.
that level of pedantic.
I hate it.
I hate it. So we go back to this one. 2-0. Lotus just continuing to do the work back there.
And anything you can do to get your forward the ball, whether it's on his 5 or the 3, it's a good play for your team.
For the folks at home, a clear is defined by
anything that leaves your area and does not go to the opposing forward on either one of his rods.
From the perspective of the goalie.
From the perspective of the goalie. So on the right side of the table, Lotus clearing the ball would be, she gives it to her forward, she gives it to the other goalie, she scores, she sends it off the table, anything besides giving it to Kopiy Cam. And if he blocks the clear attempt and it goes back to her, obviously that's not a clear either. Nice play to keep the ball in her goal right there, by the way, her goal area. Contain is what we call that.
Contain.
We don't have a stat for that. We will soon though. I guarantee you that. So like on there, even though Kopiy blocked the shot attempt or the clear attempt, it went back to Phil's 5 bar, and it's a plus EV play for your team. I mean, it's going to work out for you more than it works for the opponents in those scenarios.
Schlaefer buries that down the middle. 3-0 now. Really looking to get back into this match. They already have. What kind of response can we see from Kopiy? Kopiy is a player that is momentum, all momentum. Can he take the time, figure out to make an adjustment, or get that as that knocks off the wherever?
I tap the table, so in the future when I'm running things, that'll be disqualification right there. Leave the tournament room. What are you tapping the table for? If you're sorry, you take it back and shoot again. Some of that's tongue in cheek. I'm being silly. That's more of that clapping by Phil there.
I like that little pepper.
Yeah, he's happy his teammate blocked the.
But you saw what he was aggressive with because he clapped over the table.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
Phil again with the ball. Rollover position. Took a breath, taking his time. Buries that. Throws the arm behind him.
He has figured this out on the 3 bar.
And that's what Phil does.
He really does, actually.
Oh, he does. Yeah, he's Do you haven't watched the Foos series that he did? I don't know when that was. The 2000s, it's the 2000s now. The early
pre-pandemic.
2000s.
That's all that matters at this point.
Oh, pre-pandemic. Oh, is that
during COVID, before COVID, or after COVID? Yeah, it's 3.
Pre.
Yeah, of course it was.
So
that's probably still in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4-1. What? I mean, we could talk about it.
I don't know. What about it?
Is it gonna? No, the straights are no longer there. But
he's
she is saying
when he does this, he's just looking as soon as he sees that, and he can explode right down the middle.
And he does. 1-1 now. It is the third and final game. This is a single elimination. So this is it, folks.
Oops.
What do we see here?
Well, Phil definitely figured it out on his 3 bar. I don't remember what he was shooting in that first game, but he has solved his 3 bar dilemmas. It appears, and I actually really do think that that all started with him just waiting for a middle to explode on.
Yeah, that is on point. It is the third game now. This got on right away. Chesbrough sends that up to the 3 of Phil.
Yeah, if he would have waited he put his hands up. He's frustrated because he knows if he waited literally a split second longer, 1/10 of a second.
Boer, 3 for 13 first game for Phil and 5 for 6 second game, and that is spot on. That's a huge, yeah. As that one sneaks in now, 1-0. Those are the kind of breaks you got to forget early. Short memory.
Phil blowing his balls there. I don't think that was illegal, dude. I don't know. I guess nobody cares. I'm wrong, but I would love to see that again. Oh, we can replay that. Oh, we didn't start the replay buffer. Freak. It looked like he had it back pinned. He rolled it over, pushed it, and then stubbed it forward, which is not illegal. But I don't know. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again.
Like the meteorite hitting the earth and just destroying life again.
Yep.
It'll happen. Kopiy Cam, rollover position.
Doesn't feel like he's had the ball much.
No, I mean, he's got 11 shots versus 20.
That's brutal if you're the goalie there.
2-0. You can see Lotus bat there, just not stepping away, just thinking about what Kopiy's doing. You know, these players know each other very well, all up from this area for the most part. Phil from NorCal, but he comes up here enough. I think Northern California is basically the Pacific Northwest. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, the funny thing about California is y'all say Northern California, but it's like halfway up the state. So what is Sacramento?
Nobody cares about Sacramento.
Phil. Dog shit.
Phil really quickly gets 5 to the 3 and
edit that out
changes
later.
the subject real quick. Looking again, and Julie seeing a little bit of something defensively.
Yeah, I just don't think – I actually don't think she's giving him anything on the pull side. He's looking for it. He's forcing it. He sees it, but it is just really not there. I think he could keep time in that middle and then occasionally throw a push side in there.
Julie tried to give that push kick, which she is so good at. 3-bar. You watch her this weekend playing when she gets up on up front.
The biggest chicken fingers I've ever seen in my life.
Danilo Fattel just showed up with an armful of stanchions.
Yeah, it was 100%. That's Phil's being so nice right here. She beat the shit out of that wall when he was trying to catch it on his 3-bar. He looked up immediately. She says, "No, I don't think so," but that was 100% a jar. It's one of those things where if they turn over here,
yeah,
like, you know, it's we're not going to replay that. We could if we wanted to, but to me that was very clearly a jar. It wasn't even close.
What is the in the rule book about replays? Oh, he just wants to go right into it. All right.
So I'm glad you asked because I know the answer to that. And I impressed Tom Yor when I knew the answer to this at Beatdown. So the rules are very clear, extremely clear about what you're able to do to make a call right. And if you think somebody, even if there's not a ref at the table, if you think somebody did something, whether it's a jar, whether it's time, anything, if it can be verified by video evidence. Well, actually, let me say it this way: they can use witness accounts. They can use They can use the story. They can play judge and jury. I mean, there's a bunch of things that they could do. But one of the things that is much more objective is they can look at video. So whether it's on table 1 and we have a camera and all this stuff, or if it's on table 72 and Uncle Pawpaw has his 1982 flip phone out, they can review that footage.
Oh wow!
To see and to ultimately. The idea is to get the call right. So whatever they can use to get the call right, foosball has the best rules around that by far over any other sport because the goal is to get the call right.
So any evidence that is on the table about the table?
Anything. Yeah, all of it.
Pulls within 1, Schlaefer and Chesbrough. I'm assuming this is not win by 2. This is just straight up 5.
Correct.
Cam. (3-1). Now here comes Phil. We see him cool as a cucumber in his 5. Can he continue that? Gonna need a lot of possessions.
God, 5-bar looks so good.
What is he at? 67%?
Yeah. And I mean the numbers are good, but I mean literally just looks sweet. I mean he has it in that back pin position. That's more of what I was talking about. Just waiting to explode right in the middle. And that pull side is just not going to be there, which means something is.
Right. Absolutely pulls within 1. 3-2 now in favor of Cam and O'Halloran. Cam not giving in on the 5. Rollover position. Shooting 7 for 12. 8 for 13. Timeout called. This is championship point for Kopiy Cam and Julie O'Halloran, who came out on fire the first game. Second game, it was all Phil with Lotus backing him up. And now Kopiy and Julie are looking to put this one away.
I mean, as it stands, I mean, thinking about the match, I mean, the biggest difference here has been Julie's defense and Phil not really being able to fully solve that puzzle quickly enough, at least not yet. I really do think the middles for him, just focus on that. He's so fast. He can, as soon as he sees it, he can go to it.
Yeah, he can.
And the push side is there some. Forget about the pull side.
Phil now
He
stops his foot in frustration. He knows. He knows what he did. Julie, this is championship point. Send that up, swatted just a little bit back by Cam.
On that last shot, she might do it again, where she spreads her defense wide open and then takes away the middle immediately. But he timed that correctly last time to go push side, and he just hit the post.
This is championship point. Kopiy Cam puts the ball in the play, rollover position, and calls his last timeout. Textbook.
Smart play.
Textbook. I mean, yeah. Look at that line on the left-hand side. 62% passing, 62% shooting, 70% clearing.
I want to say something actually about that timeout that I really particularly liked, is that he looked at the defense for a few seconds instead of immediately calling it. Like, he sat there, looked and looked and looked, and that's information he can take into this shot where he can potentially win the match.
And he puts it away, push side, buries deep, 5-2 in 3 games. Nux just got bumped, folks. This is the final senior doubles here at Washington State 2023. We saw the first set already go in favor of Kopiy Cam and Julie O'Halloran, who are coming from the elimination bracket. They won, I wouldn't call it handily, Clay. I think that it was quite the battle.
It was very close. I mean, it was a couple, I mean, I think they scored the same amount of goals, or close to it. And by the way, Phil has not hit he's hit a pull side. That was a pull side. It's not going to be there. I wish I could just send him a text message and let him know. That's not an option.
No, that would be far beyond our boundaries of what we do up here.
Also don't know his number.
I don't know what the discussion is.
She can't get to it.
Oh, it's back. Okay. That's it. I was chortling.
So there's another. I forgot I had the switcher here. I have so many buttons over here. Please ask me the rules. Somebody ask me the rules. No, this is not how that works. You have to know the rules, people. It goes. Okay, so here's the deal. What they're talking about here.
I don't know. You guys want to find out? I don't know.
So what they're trying to figure.
Clay's about to tell him.
She couldn't touch it, so it stays in her area because it's a dead ball. No, it's a dead ball. It's dead. If she can touch it and she let the timer out, it goes to their five. In the goal area. So what happened there is the ball died on the lip of the goal. And if you can touch the ball, you know, we can show, you know, there is some space back there where the ball can still be on the table. If you can touch the ball and you choose to not try to not, you know, because you don't want to knock it in your goal, you can let the time run out. It goes to the opponent's 5 bar. And that's fine. People do that. It's not a bad option. It's actually smart, in my opinion, sometimes. However, if you cannot touch it, it's just a dead ball. It doesn't matter that it's on the lip of the goal. If you can't touch the ball, it's a dead ball. It goes where it would have gone which in this case is the goal area.
Fantastic information from Clay, and I'm glad that they got a ruling on that, because I don't think a lot of people know that, as Phil buries that pull side.
Yeah, for the record, I'm wrong. He hit the pull side that I've been saying wasn't there. And in this,
but can I just say that the timing was different, though? He's usually doing those square. That was more of a spray, and I think that's why he did it, because I don't know if that's by design, but it was a completely different shot than the other pull sides he's been doing.
Well, he has a very square pull side when he wants it.
He does. He does.
So it could be unintentional on that time. It could also be that he was just going faster and rushed it, or something else. By the way, if you want to follow along with the stats, they are bit.ly/MF stats, all lowercase, all one word, and you can pull that up on any device. I saw somebody peek around here just now, and I was trying to say it loud enough to where they might hear it and look it for themselves. But
yeah.
But going back to the other thing with the rules, nobody on this table is trying to screw anybody. They're all fair. They're all trying to get the right call. But it's a little confusing when it's a weird situation for the ball to die like that. Gosh, he's recoiling before the thing even hit the metal.
2-0 now in favor of Schlaefer and Chesbrough.
That's the first time that pass hadn't worked. He's had he bounces it off and then brushes it back to the wall, and it's just been brutal.
Yeah,
been working really good for him.
That's been working good for Kopiy.
Thank you, Foos These Nuts. Thank you for putting that in the chat.
Thank you, Foos. Phil now.
This is where he goes up right here.
Oh my goodness. Interestingly enough, I want to say this correctly. Hold on. I want to watch this, but I have a thought.
Okay. Just time that middle. She's toying with him, too.
Oh, my goodness. That's the grunt. That's a Phil grunt.
When he gets to doing this, it is call a timeout. If you're ever playing that man right there and he's grunting after his shots and throwing the rod like that, call a timeout, figure something out, because he is on a roll.
Yeah. Yeah, he knows where the momentum is, and it's in his parking lot.
And he has solved the puzzle. I mean, that is not a matter of, I took a few shots and they just happened to be there. He is looking at this. Go back and look at this. Time these shots. I mean, he is taking his time. He is looking to see what Julie's doing. She's doing things very intentionally, and he just knows when to go and what to do.
Absolutely. Hands clapping together, fists bumping between teammates. This is it. All the momentum is 4-1 on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say this. I get this impression, Clay, that Trevor Parks. There's a parallel between Trevor Parks' 5-bar and Phil Schlaefer's 5-bar. Phil is not nearly as pretty or as elegant as Trevor's, but there is something there that I feel like Trevor got from Phil or Phil got from Trevor or something. Yeah. I just feel like there's a connection between their two 5-bars. And I'm going to ask Trevor about that later as Kopiy sends that hard along the wall to his 3. Do you see that? Or is that just me?
I think, Trevor's is like a souped-up Honda Civic, and Phil's is more like a F-350.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah. With NOS.
Yeah. Rolling coal.
There was a nice from Phil. 0-0 now.
This is if you're on the left side of the table, dude, you got to slow this down big time.
Yeah.
Call an extra timeout.
Yeah, go make a 2-minute egg.
Use your 90 seconds too. By the way, you have a full 90 seconds between games, and you do not want. I'm trying to think of a good nickname, but it's oops. Next thing I need to hit that again. Go yes here and yes here. All right, we're back. Phil is here's the deal. So momentum, I have I have a different take on momentum. I don't think momentum is real. I think, and then I'll define it, because I'm not saying that it's other people are wrong. The thing about Phil right now, he is so comfortable. He feels no pressure right now, and he can just take a look, just watch. There's no stress for him because stuff like that. Everything's going your way. So to me, momentum is where you can just relax and do your thing that you do on an empty table when you're practicing. And like that's an example right there. Kopiy can make that pass 10 out of 10 times on an empty table, but he's feeling a little stressed right now. It's 1-1. He has to win this game or it's over. And drop a simple pass. And to me, that's the absence of momentum, or as I would say it, that is just him feeling it a little bit and not executing it to the degree that he's able to.
Absolutely. I like that. I like that redefinition or just different understanding of how it is that we are on the table. 1-1. Kopiy splits that defense.
And it's not to shit on other people's way of describing things, but that's just how I feel about it. Because the momentum it's hard to define that, but what I can say is Phil does not feel any pressure right now. He's just big chilling, 4 for 4 passing, 5 for 6 shooting in this second set.
That was very fortunate for Cam to get that kind of floater knuckleball from O'Halloran.
Another clap on the defense there. I love that when forwards clap for their goalies.
I want to start playing again. Yeah. I just want to start clapping. I want to do that. I want to do the double team timeout that we saw at the beatdown.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. Just slow.
Yep.
Chesbrough down by 1 in the second game, but they're up by 1 in game score in the second set. This is the Washington State Foosball Championships Senior Doubles Final 2023. I'm Adam Gilson. That's Clay Toomey. This is Bellevue, Washington, and that was a beautiful pass.
I actually think it was a push kick attempt that got blocked and just kind of chipped over.
No.
Did I take the air out of the room?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll never smile again is all I know.
I'm
but
trying to help.
No, no, specificity is important. Or just being right.
Yeah, clarity.
Clarity. Thank you. Good. Julie over there smiling, having a good time. You heard her go, woo, after he shot.
Yep. And it's a different version of what I was saying I like about what Phil's doing. Where I like when it's easy to cheer for offense. I like watching the forward cheer for defense when their goalie blocks. It's a different it's different. You don't see a lot of that.
It is. Yeah, it's a different vibe. Ball back into play now. 3-1 in favor of Cam and O'Halloran. Phil, though, we've seen what he can do on the 5. That is swatted back by Cam.
It's the first block pass of the second set.
You see now Cam pulls the ball back into play and buries that, and he does that. I think he spent a good, 72 seconds total this entire weekend with his possessions.
Phil is just having his way on the 5 bar. And frankly, so is Kopiy. There's not a lot of defense on either side with the 5 bar.
Buried. Recoiled. Wiped.
Nice pass. That's that same pass from earlier in the match, and he caught it this time.
I like his far ball series. Reminiscent of yours, Clay. Not quite the same, but with authority, a 23 scoop to the 5 ends up on the 3 of Phil.
I love that stop ball series on the far side.
Yeah, it's deadly when you do it. When anybody does it. But when you do it.
Especially when I do it.
Especially when you do it. Phil, taking his time, rocking back and forth, shoots that push side, steps back from the table, enjoys the beauty of it all, and comes back to it.
It's another loud grunt. I think I would call timeout every time he did that because it means something.
Oh, it does, yes.
That's that pass again, by the way, where he just pops it off the wall and goes right back to the wall. It's tough.
Game point, timeout called. Kleptakilla, yeah, pumps you up as a goalie. It does when you're forward. Is excited for your defense.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
This would be a good time to have those mics on. I'd like to know what Phil is saying right now.
Yeah, I would too.
I told him no onions, and they put onions on it anyways. And guess that means you got to spit on your hands.
That's good. I'm glad we're out of the pandemic.
Are we though?
Well, we're about not to be. As Kopiy puts this one back to play, there's one timeout each in this second game, second set. Lotus with the block and the steal. Or is that a retain? What would you call that?
Yeah.
It's a
You can't really steal it as a goalie, but if they let loose of it and you contain it in your area, I would call that a contain.
almost stuffed back in the Chesbrough's goal. And playing with fire. Someone like Cam, fast reflexes.
He does have quick hands.
He does, yeah. As he reels that one in. Game point. Looking to send it to a third and final game. Kopiy.
Like that right there, that to me, that's just a straight up contain. The ball comes into her area, bounces off the wall. She grabs it with her 2-bar. That's a. If you save 2 of those, that's a goal. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
If somebody's shooting 50%, which Kopiy's not right now, but if you're facing someone shooting 50%, if you stop 2 of those shots or 2 of those balls from going to the 3-bar, you save a goal.
7 for 9 shooting so far is Phil. Torrid pace. And he continues that. 80% this set. My goodness. 4-4. Talking timeouts.
Yeah.
1-1. It is championship point for Phil and Lotus. That is a massive defensive jar.
Yeah, reset. I would have said something there, especially on 4-4.
He goes back into it. O'Halloran sends it down the middle. Ends up Chesbrough's steady hands. And that is swatted back in there now. It is, I don't know.
Game 3.
She just took 5 points. I like that. All right.
Yeah, that's well, she's in La La Land. She thinks it's game 3 and it's overtime, but that was just game 2.
Oh.
It's been a long couple games, Julie. I feel you. I feel your pain. It has been a couple long. I mean, it's just.
It has been. No, I'm still reeling from that rap battle I lost with you.
Today was a good day.
Yep.
This one will decide it all.
Third game underway. I really, 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 really wish they took their 90 seconds, but they did not.
You know, we can make them do that.
Oh, we could, huh?
Yeah, just turn the light off.
Yeah. It is 0-0 in this third and final game. The deciding game is Senior Doubles Championship here at Washington State 2023.
And, you know, everybody except for one person did okay with the control of the Table 1 lights back when we did this in Moneyball.
Yeah.
That was a big success.
It is, and you would expect most people would maybe be doing a little bit of crying about it, but it seemed like it wasn't the case. As Kopiy gets that onto the 3. People don't like change unless they find it in their couch. As Phil claps, celebrates.
Some people just need a reason to say that they lost. And that reason needs to be something other than, I'm not good.
Those are some dots that some people just keep in different time zones. Don't want to connect them. Lotus looking to connect to a pass. Turns into a clear, though.
Yep. I hit the wrong button on that. Thank you, Dan, for the undo button.
Folks, I'm gonna take a video of Clay doing this. it's like watching Liberace play at the marquee at Caesar's Palace.
Well.
What's more? I guess.
That's all, folks.
Yanni.
Oh yeah. That's questionable. That was a pro new clock there.
0-0 in this third and final game.
Shot on goal. Yeah, I wish we had that red light here this weekend.
It's a good one.
Yeah. My favorite light is the red light. It's actually not true. I don't know why I said that. I like black lights.
Clay, you can feel the rhythm has just shifted dramatically in this third game.
Yeah.
Everything is slowed down. Everybody's slowing down.
Well, Phil hadn't had a shot. He hasn't grunted. I mean, there's a few things that were happening in that first game and into the second game that just – I mean, his presence on the table is just – it's a big deal. He's frustrated. That was there. He's reading that right. But when he's going over there, I actually think he's chipping it just a tiny bit. If we could watch that in super slow-mo. I think he is sending it to the post instead of squaring it up.
Another chance here for Phil.
I'm not calling that a pass because he didn't catch it. He just got the rebound off that back wall, but it doesn't matter. He has it on his three. Man, he's just, in this second set, he's just passing and shooting at will. And this is kind of a flip-flop from the first set because Kopiy Cam is passing at will as well and just not shooting. I mean, 30% is just, that's tough. There's a lot of W's in there. Why is that push kick so sneaky? Like it doesn't. It's weird because it just gets on go real fast, but I don't know why.
That's because of a takeoff. All the kick shots are just. It's all about the lob. It's all about Kopiy almost just grabbed that back because he's got a remote control in his pocket.
Nope.
It is.
Sorry about that.
And it's on his 5 regardless though. But yeah, no, it's the lob. It's all about her takeoff. We'll look at it again. It becomes a lot more clear if you can watch her shoot it on her 3 because she does it very smoothly on the 3. But it's very artful. It's a finesse. Phil. You can see it. He knows, and Julie knows. Julie's looking at defensively. She's got her series in mind.
Yeah.
And what she's doing there is just giving Kopiy as much possible time to get into this third and final game of the senior doubles final.
That was a pass. That's a catchable pass. It did have a little stank on it, but what a bounce pass.
Kopiy buries that. 1-0 on the board first in this third game after a bit of a lull. We got into the doldrums of offense.
Phil Hill. He held his hand out for a good 7 or 8 seconds there. I've seen somebody ride a bull longer than that. Wait, that didn't make sense. That was longer. Never mind.
No.
Shout out to Don
No.
Gay, Mesquite, Texas.
Swatted back by Kopiy. Lotus.
There we go. He's starting to get on her 2-bar clears a little bit. She's struggling to get the ball, and a lot of those are coming back to her, which technically doesn't count as a clear, but it's better than giving it to him.
Yeah, what she's doing is she's trying to scoop a little too long, and he's just getting right on that every single time.
We have a hallway behind us. I don't know if you know that.
Is that what that was? We need to connect these things.
There it is. That's that same shot that he was trying for last time, and he just squared it off instead of chipping it over. It's that pass. That's going to keep working until it doesn't.
Sage words, Kopiy. 1-1, 2-1. Ball comes out and says, I want to keep playing.
Phil says, hey, please don't. Is he one of the new guys? I'm going to be nice if he is. I'm going to be
I'm almost fairly certain that's one of them. Yeah.
one of the new players?
Yeah.
Cool. So they don't have stairs out there and not Foosler World? Basic manners.
What would it have been like if you weren't nice? Oh. 2-2 in this third and final game.
Oh, time out there. That's an interesting one.
Do you agree with that?
I don't. Is that 2-2 or 3-1? Oh, it is 2-2. Yeah, I think. Do your thing. I mean, Phil's playing out of his mind in my view right now. So do whatever you feel good with. He's been using his timeouts the whole match. They've been working well. He's not just mindlessly doing things. So this timeout had intention behind it, even though I don't know what that intention was. So I'm not going to doubt it. I wouldn't want to burn my timeout at 2-2 when it's on the after I score.
Absolutely. Ball back into play 2-2. But I love what you said though. Intention is massive. If you're just calling timeouts or chasing butterflies, that's one thing. But if you have a reason for it, even if we can't discern what it is, that's important. Kopiy. English carried that ball back to Lotus's position.
Some four-wheel drive on it. And she needs to just make a good play here to send it up the table.
Somewhere.
Kopiy has been all over those, and he got this one. He knows what he's looking for. He's found her range. Something has gone in his favor on that. And just like that, I mean, I actually don't usually like that play, but she just got it out of there, cleared the ball, and didn't give it to Kopiy. So it's a smart play by Lotus. Yeah. She's sizing him up now, figuring out what he's doing when she does her thing, and she's smart enough. I mean, you don't have to be Ryan Moore to clear the ball. Mm-mm. She's smart enough to know when I do this, he does that, so that means this other thing is available.
Right, absolutely, and that's what you saw. That was the first time we saw her do a little bit of a lift-up fake just to see what his reaction was, and that's why she brought it down smooth down the middle.
Gosh, he's just beating the hell out of the table.
Yeah, that is a lot of, even on his own passes, which, can you jaw yourself on your own pass?
Sure. I mean, nobody's going to call it, but
3-2? No, 2-2 in favor of nobody. Just us, the fans, watching. Phil wants to send it 3-2.
Yeah, it's getting worse, too. There.
You need one of those. He shouts, Phil, 3-2.
Man, I bet he's fun to play with, man.
Yeah, I think he'd be pretty supportive. Pretty good player. Ball whacked around and ends up on the 5 of Phil. Phil just being masterful, 69% on the 5. Swatted back this time, though, to Lotus, who we think is time to do to shoot something or just pass it, turn it over.
When she does that, sits there for 3 or 4 seconds, she gives the ball up. When she gives him a couple fakes, does a couple things, looks at the defense, she's clearing the ball. I'd like to see her throw a fake here, any kind. Just move, see what he does. And she almost coughed it up there, too.
Lotus. Team up 3-2. But swatted back again. I don't know how many times she's had to block her shot.
And Phil's reaching over to tell her something there. And I don't know what he said, but hopefully it was something along the lines, for their case, hopefully it was something along the lines of, throw a fake. Make him move. Burn his energy. Do something. Puts that one on goal.
That would have been a fun time to know what it is he actually said.
Yeah, I'd like tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. We're going to have, what's the pronunciation? Lavalier? Lavalier?
I call them wearable mics.
Wearable mics.
Jar. That is so much a jar, dude. That is terrible.
I don't know.
That is so egregious, man. It is so. We've been talking about it. We knew this was coming.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been really bad these last couple of possessions, and when Phil knows what he's talking about, and Kopiy just might not be aware of how heavy his hand is there. And I don't think Kopiy's a cheater. I'm not saying that.
No, he's probably not. I think he's just so much in the moment.
Yeah, he's just playing aggressively, and it wasn't intentional, but that. Oh, we did give it to him. Check this out. All right, well, so that's. We couldn't hear the conversation. We will hear the conversation tomorrow. But that's where that ball belongs. So good job on all of them for deciding that.
4-2.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, I felt it. The lights shook. The earth shook.
Yeah.
5-bar pass. Back to the 3. It's championship point. Senior doubles. Washington State 2023. Phil Schlaefer.
He has a timeout if he wants it. I don't think he's going to take it. Oh, maybe he will.
And he buries that, and there you have it in 2 sets. Championship goes to Phil Schlaefer. Lotus Chesbrough, senior doubles, runners-up, Kopiy Cam and Julie O'Halloran.